Hi, this is Laura from Pet Scribbles, and welcome to another edition of Crafty Hangouts. Today, our sponsor is Minwax, makers of awesome products, and they are the ones that sent us all kinds of materials for creating something fun. A lot of times people think that Minwax is more something you get different stains for furniture making, larger projects. But what we want to show you with these Hangouts, myself and the other bloggers on the team, is that you can use stain just as easily as you can use paint, just as easily as you can use dye. The formulations these days are amazingly easy to use and are water-based, which is a nice switch from what they used to be back in the day. So what I want to show you, just as an example of a small craft, this is something I did last year, and it's just a cute little place card for Thanksgiving, and they're little wooden spools. And what I did was I used this really cool product. Let me just find it here for you. And it's Express Color, and this shade is called Crimson. And after I stained the unfinished wood spool, I just tied some raffia ribbon on it, added some little orange tulle, and put a little vintage image there on a stick, and had something easy. So that's a tiny thing, but that was done with stain just as easily as I could have done it with paint. So they make these Express Colors, Minwax does, in all kinds of different shades. They make them in more traditional wood finishes like maple, walnut, and then they have what I call the fun colors. They have in crimson, I have onyx here, which is a black. They have a gorgeous emerald green that some of the other bloggers are using, so you have to go to craftyhangouts.com after this so you can see all week we're going to be doing different crafts. So anyway, today what I did was I did a farmhouse-style stool. Very simple. I was able to do this in about an hour. You'll notice one little end isn't done yet because I'm going to show you a little trick to how I did that. The legs, as you can see, are black. That's the onyx color, and that's just one coat. That's how nicely this covers. And the top I did in the crimson, and that is 2 coats because I just wanted to really make sure I had that rich color. But what's nice about using stain is, if you can see in the light, make sure I get this for you, you can see the grain of the wood, and that's what is really the nicest thing about this. It's similar to how if you use dye, for example, you can see the wood grain as well. But what's nice about these stains is they're water-based. This dries in about an hour, and the best part, it has a finish in it as well. So you're not only applying the stain, you're applying the finish. You've now removed the step for having to seal it with something to protect it. If you want to seal it, you still can, but you know, this isn't going to be some kind of heavy use thing. I'm picturing this in our library, maybe have a couple little books on it, a little display, or you can even use these stools. A lot of times I'll see people, if you're having like a big party, a big buffet table, sometimes you want things on different levels, whether it's a cheese plate or it's a cake, and you can put these down the center of the buffet table just to have different levels of your food. Nice display. So the easiest way to do this, I'll show you, is you want to have rubber gloves because that's, you know, you don't want the stain on your fingers. Although if you get some on your fingers, which I did during cleanup earlier, it wipes off with, washes off with soap and water. And that is probably the best thing about this. You want to make sure you use it in a well-ventilated room. But the odor, it says low odor on it. I would almost say no odor. I didn't smell anything. Now, I don't know if I'm just used to fumes from painting and crafting, but I didn't have any odor whatsoever. Other supplies besides the gloves is I used a foam brush, and I used a little detail brush. You can kind of see that. This is actually a makeup brush, but I just love using it for getting the little nooks and crannies. And then I use plastic recycled lids. This is from potato salad. I use these to just squirt the dye in. I use them for paint. I use them for beads. I use these for everything. This is just nice to recycle, reuse. You don't have to worry about having an ongoing supply of paper plates and whatever. So with that being said, it's got a little bit of a, I don't know what you want to call it, like a little seal on the end of it. So it won't just glop out, but you do have to kind of squeeze it a little bit to get it out. Lovely black color. Now, when you have a piece of unfinished wood that's flat, as this surface is, this was easy to do with, I actually used a rag for this. A clean white rag, an old t-shirt, something that's clean. And you can just, you know, wipe the stain on and wipe it off. It's that simple, it's that easy. And I'll show you in miniature. I didn't think you wanted to watch me do an entire stool. But what you want to do, let's do this with the correct hand. I'm going to use a foam brush for the larger parts and then a little detail brush for the small. Just want to see if you can see this here. If you see that little mark there, it's like a, I don't know, it's like something in the finish. I don't know if it was glue or wood putty or something from that. I got this at the craft store, so not sure what it's from, but it was on all of the legs, and I'm happy to say once I covered it with the stain, you cannot see it on any of them. So just wanted to show you in case you see something like that at the store. So you take your foam brush, make sure you can see this, and it's literally a matter of wiping it on. It's that easy. What I like about Minwax too is they are constantly coming out with new products. They now have something called Polyshades, which basically looks like, I'm sure you can see this, it looks like it's spray paint. It would be like spray paint. Think of it as spray paint, but it's stained in a can. Operate just like spray paint. Go outside, spray something, and you've got a beautiful stained piece of furniture, and it comes in a whole mess of colors. They also have something new called, what are they called? Wood finishing cloths. Let me hold that up for you in a sec. All right, so there's my just painted knob. Now I'm going to show you in a second how to get into the cracks and crevices with that. This thing I want to show you. Look at that. So there are these wood finishing cloths that are wipes. You know, like you use, if you've got kids, you probably use baby wipes. I have makeup remover wipes that I always use. So instead of this being something that takes something off, it puts the stain on. Each wipe is, you pull it out and it's just soaked in gorgeous colors of stain. This one is a dark mahogany. There's also a walnut color. I mean, beautiful shades. I won't be using these today, but again, go to craftyhangouts.com because there's a couple other bloggers that did use these and beautiful results. Okay, so now we've painted this, but we have a couple of little parts there, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up. But the easiest way to do this is just take a detail brush, dip a little bit of stain in there. Let's see if I can, you know what, I'm going to come around this way. See if I can get this for you to see. And just gets right in there, no brainer. And it's the easiest way to just get in the cracks and crevices. Some people like to just use a t-shirt and kind of get in there with, you know, a fingernail underneath the rag or t-shirt. But I find that just doing it this way really works easily. I mean, here's the side. I didn't see this might show it better for you. And you just get right in there with the paint. So you do that on all sides. This, again, was one coat on the legs, 2 coats on the top. Took me, and to do the underside, took me about an hour, and that was me being careful. If you're used to working with stain, you may be even quicker. I was taking my time because I knew this was going to be on video and wanted it to look good. But that's all it took. It's now ready to use. It's dry. It dries in about an hour. I waited a couple more just to be on the safe side. But it's beautiful finish. It's just perfect. It's got that kind of farmhouse country feel. And the stool itself was, I think, $8 at the craft store. and buy yourself some stains. I hardly used any of these because they're so big they will last. So it's something that you'll have for a while and you can stain and craft with a lot of different things. So that's today's hangout. I hope you will check out my blog, which is www.petscribbles.com. And if you do a search for Thanksgiving, that's where you'll find these little things too if you're interested in seeing how I made those. I'll also, as I mentioned before, craftyhangouts.com. You'll see all kinds of neat Minwax projects this week. And I hope you subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. And that's about it. So thank you to Minwax. Absolutely love, love, love them. Buy yourself some of this water-based stain and get crafting. Thanks a lot, and until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.